This is the historical uh, influence using the metaphor in architecture and design. Okay, we can see here in the ancient period, the interpretation of metaphor to the building element. For example, here the column here, using a lotus flower apply to the capital of the column and the body of the column. Okay, and some of the temples in Egypt also using palm column. Okay, and others surrounding plant. Okay, this is another example, the cut temple. Okay, that inspired, okay, by the worm. Okay, here you can see here, okay, that apply into the design of the temple. Okay, in the classical period, okay, in during Greek and Rome's era, okay, the use of capital column, okay, that inspired from the plant, okay, and the building that associate to the human body. Okay, this is one example of the metaphor that apply in the building. Okay, in during the Middle Age period, during the Islamic era, okay, the use of so many natural elements in the architectural arts and architecture. For example, here the use of honeycomb to be applied in the building in Maksura, okay, Maksura, okay, and other you can see in other building also. Okay, in the modern era, for example, here in this building, Chapelle Notre Dame du Haut in France in 1955. Okay, the building inspired by either the hands and duck. Okay, so this is the example of a metaphor in building. Okay, this one, the shape of teepee or wigwam that applied in the Gibbet Liverpool Metropolitan Cathedral, okay, in 1967. Okay, this is another example of metaphor in building. Okay, this one, the Sydney Opera House that built in 1958. Okay, that inspired from the seashell, right? Okay, the Lotus Temple in New Delhi, India, Baha'i House of Worship that built in 1986, inspired by the lotus flower. This is one of the example of the building that inspired from the lotus flower. Okay, the Beijing National Stadium, okay, or they call it a bird nest stadium, inspired from the bird nest. Okay. In ASEAN also we have Kerta Jati International Airport in Bandung that inspired from the what call burung merak, the birds. Okay, you can see another angle that look like birds. Okay, this is another example and another example of building that inspired from the Lotus Flower Art Science Museum in Singapore that built in 2011. Okay, the Titanic Museum Belfast that inspired from the ship, the Titanic ship. Okay, you can see how it influence the form of the building. The Titanic Museum Belfast, built in 2012. Okay, this is the City of Arts and Science in Valencia, Spain. Okay, the building that built in 2009 that inspired from the eyes. Okay, this one, the Burj Arab Dubai, built in 1999. Okay, that inspired from the sailboat. Okay, that we discussed in the analogy. Okay, the form from the sailboat, but the characteristic is the analogy of sailboat, combination between metaphor and analogy. Okay, in Malaysia, we have National Libraries Malaysia that built in 1972, inspired by the Tengkolok. You can see the use of pattern, songket pattern in the roof. Okay. All right. The telecom tower, inspired from the rebung. Okay, well, we call it a pucuk rebung. Okay, telecom tower built in 2003. We have Menara Maybank or Maybank Tower in 1987, inspired by the Malay weapon craze. Then, and the forest in the interior part, a lot of example that use metaphor. For example, here the use of forest in the interior design. The Johnson Wax building by Frank Lloyd Wright in 1930s also used the forest of column, and in most of Cordoba also use the forest as a metaphor. Okay, in Malaysia, the KL International Airport, okay, also use forest, the palm tree, kelapa sawit, they apply in the design. Okay, we can see here in the column, okay, the use of column, and the roof inspired by the leaf of palm tree. Okay. In 1998, the Atlantis Palm, the Palm Atlantis in Dubai hotel. Okay, we can see more example how metaphor will apply in the interior character. Okay, in furniture design. Okay, this is another example metaphor that apply in furniture. The flamingo chair, the use of color, the shape of the flamingo. The rabbit chair. Okay, another example, the butterfly chair, the leaf chair, and how animals will apply in the seating units. Okay. The lighting, okay, the lighting. We have onion lamp here, and a lot of example. Yes, by sometimes the developments, the creativity will create another interesting form. Okay, it's not really have to be very direct translation. It have to go to the process of development. After you get the interesting and unique form. Okay. Okay, this is another example how the lift will convert into the seating units or maybe bus stop. Okay, another example of metaphor. Okay, this is among the final product by the student using the metaphor process. to produce the end product. Thank you so much.